This video is about the study of your inner spiritual being, because there is always an outside reflection of us, who we are, but inside there is another part, which is the spiritual aspect. And maybe it's good to talk about it, your inner spiritual man, as described in the book of Alice Bailey. Man, it means it in general, your inner spiritual being, because everything in the world has the light of God within every single item, God's consciousness, else it wouldn't be there. Even if it's a fraction, it's still some light within. It's like the material, but inside there is the spirit, the light that is there. And only because of that, the physical thing is alive. And so we read in Ponder on This from Alice Bailey, Master Djwhal Khul, about the spiritual man. We discover that behind every subjective phenomenon there lies an essentially spiritual incentive. This incentive, this latent spiritual cause, is the object of attention of the spiritual man. The spiritual man is he who, having been both a man of the world and an occult student, that has reached the conclusion that behind all of the causes which he has been hitherto engaged is a cause. This causal unity then becomes the goal of his search. This is the mystery lying behind all the mysteries. This is the secret of which all that hitherto been known and conceived is but the veil. This is the heart of the unknown, which holds hid the purpose of decay to all that is, and which only puts into the hands of those exalted beings who have been worked their way through the manifold web of life, know themselves indeed and in truth to the Atma or spirit itself, and veritable sparks in the one great flame. So only those who have learned from their path and know themselves as a spirit, not as the body, emotion, thoughts, and their mind, but as the spirit, and to find the cause, the spiritual incentive in everything, that's the motive. So later, when the race sees its problem with clarity, it will act with wisdom and train with care its observers and communicators. These will be men and women in whom the intuition has awakened at the behest of the urgent intellect. They will be people whose minds are subordinated to the group good and so free from all sense of separativeness that their minds present no impediment to the contact with the world of reality of the inner truth. They will not necessarily be people who could be termed religious in the ordinary sense of that word, but they will be men of goodwill and with high mental calibre, with minds well stocked and equipped. They will be free from personal ambition, selfishness, animated by love of humanity and by a desire to help the race. Such a man is a spiritual man. So a man of service to give for humanity out of love. The reason for the corrupt politics is the greedy, ambitious planting of so many of the world's leading men can be found in the fact that the spiritually minded men and women have not assumed as their spiritual duty and responsibility the leadership of the people. They have left the power in the wrong hands and permitted the selfish and undesirable to lead. Spirituality is essentially the establishing of right human relation, the promotion of goodwill, and finally the establishing of true peace on earth as the result of these two expressions of divinity. Do not work so hard, strenuously and furiously at the spiritual life. It is a state of being. It is not a state of achievement. Because so often we've been told of the outside achievement, the doing, but this of being the inner spiritual connection to your spirit, to the source, it's an attainment as of a state of being which is natural, healthy, connected, united, abundant. But from living in the world, we have learned to see with our eyes and see what we see in 3D as normal, which may be not normal. It may be not normal to be separate, to have fights and illusions. That's not the normal state of our being. Our normal state is love, connection, abundance, joy. But it's like we have incarnated on this world and the world has flipped. Everything has become material instead of still maintaining our spiritual nature of bringing that goodness and recognizing the divine sparks of Father's soul as a divine aspect of God within others and within ourselves. And the true spiritual man, or the true mission of those people with right inner connection to your heart, to God, to the higher source of good for all. That's what we move into now, to correct the world state, to get people out of glamour and have actually people who lead with the heart, who have the goodness of the people in their mind. That's what we really need, and I hope you can see more the connection with your inner being and to understand whatever you may see in the world. It may seem as the normal, but maybe your actual normal and the real state of being, it's only one which you can attain from within and bring that state of being outside to everyone you want to interact, because that's what spiritually is essentially the establishing of right human relationship, the promotion of goodwill, and finally the establishing of a true peace on earth. And that's what I hope so many people wake up to their true nature and recognize their inner spiritual nature, so they can bring forth that and help the change of the world of a place of goodness and bringing peace back on earth. So with that, I'm so grateful for you, and I send you so much love and blessings for you to recognize your own spiritual being within, your spiritual being that sees behind the veil of materialism, the veil of illusions, fear, doubt, that your true essence can come forth to serve the planet. Take care.